आपस में पैसे इकट्ठे करके हमने बैंक में नौकरी खोली हुई है जिससे हम अपना बिजनेस चला सकते हैं।
Good evening everyone, I'm Kimberly and I'm representing Seniors Finishing School. And I have a question for you. With the kind of personality that you have and the background that you come from, why not something for yourself? Like why not a corporate or a MNC where you could have proved yourself more like in a better manner? So why an NGO? First of all, I call it a business, right? And I hope to go global. So, but the thing is that I enjoy my life. Basically, this is not, I haven't like Isha nurtured this and worked hard at it or anything. I'm quite a free bird, but I work some time of the day with these people. I want to draw, I'm an artist. And this business, I hope to take it global. Of course, I've just started. And there's no excuse now, you know, we live in a rural area, but we live in a modern house. I have internet, I have access to all my friends, Facebook, and everything. And these women I work with, they're no less, you know, than anybody. So there's no reason why we shouldn't actually be a great business or, you know, whatever. Not an element, yeah, something global and big. So.
Rather, you know, can I have a point? Rather, Kiran, I sometimes feel like being women ourselves, it's much easier for our employees working for us, isn't it? You know, like there are so many, in the field of education, it has largely been female dominated all the time. So there's so many faculty members who are girls, you know, maybe unmarried or married. And they find it much easier to correspond with me, you know, ask for a lead from me or tell me their problems. Similarly for you, like you can understand that, okay, it's difficult for them to come out of the house, how to take them out of the house, how to make them work. Oh, all right, fine, a couple of hours is okay, you know, in that way. So I think that soft skills kind of a thing really matters.
Yeah. Actually, that's how the reason I wanted to be involved with these women because they work in my house, a couple of them. Then families from there, some have worked for the family for years and their daughters-in-law and all, they all bring them to meet you, you know. Fine women. In fact, we also have a small project where I noticed a lot of my girls were not going to school. So we asked them why, and the reason was like, just the government school in that village was just in the age, so parents didn't think it was that important to send their girls far from home. So we started putting them into, if they were keen, we put them into private school. A van comes, picks them up and takes them. Today, there's not one parent. The mindset of the parents has changed. There's not one parent who will tell his child or a child who will agree not to go to school. So they're doing their PAs now. You know, they finished their 12th and all parents want to know after the 12th, what can they do? So that's, in the last 4 or 5 years, it's because they meet at my place or wherever. There's like a club, there's opinions shared, while I'm giving them their work, they're sitting together and chatting amongst each other. Great support, even for each other. And I'm also always there with my opinion.
But it must be much more comfortable for them to work for you. That is why they're able to give in their best.
Yeah, even for me, I could have started something for men. I could have done a carpentry unit or something. You know, that could have employed a lot of rural people. It's easier to work with, for a woman to work with women.
Here's an opportunity for people in the audience. Is there somebody, especially a lady, who would like to stand up and share an experience of somebody she knew in her circle, who's done proud, who's excelled in being an entrepreneur? Is there anybody?
Yeah, I'm running in an IT company. I want to hire a married woman, but due to family circumstances, married women उनको टाइम नहीं दे पाती हैं, वो मार्केटिंग के लिए नहीं जा सकती हैं, तो ये प्रॉब्लम आती है कि मैरिड वुमेन और लड़कियों को जैसे कंपनी में हायर करे तो वो उतना टाइम नहीं दे पाती हैं, तो उसके लिए लगता है कि वुमेन्स कैसे आगे आएंगी, कैसे होगा ये सब प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही हैं.
Would you like to comment?
Family have a mother and give out to myself.
Yeah, the thing is that my mom,
army life and everything, is also an entrepreneur. She is not here today, but I mean, she didn't come with me today, but she really deserves mention because she's the actual, I mean, for us, things have changed a lot. Our families don't, encourage us enough. For her, in her time, it was a big thing to start working, being from a social group and, level that she was from. It was really considered, unnecessary. Why would you work for money? Why would you do something for money? And it was really her pet hobby. She was very good at tailoring and all, and she really felt like earning her own money. And she started when she was 45, after the kids left home. And she made a real success of her life too, but against these kind of opinions. I mean, she's quite happy with where she is now. She's in her 70s and still designing clothes and doing great.
एक मैं सवाल पूछना चाहूँगा आपकी देवी से कि उनके जो दो लड़के हैं वो 16 साल 17 साल के हैं। आप चाहेंगे अपने लड़कों की मदद की आपके वो बिजनेस में आप अपना हाथ बांधे?
जी सर, चाहते तो नहीं यार निकले, लेकिन आगे उनकी मर्जी है लगेगा ना। अपनी तो पूरी कोशिश है कि पढ़ाई करो आगे, अभी तक पढ़ाई में ही है। उनकी मर्जी है क्या करेंगे।
Please go ahead.
Myself, Navita Ganguva. 2 years back, I started the toy library. It was the first of its own type in the region, especially in the North India. The concept of toy library was still not much known to many people, and the Red Me Toy Company is owned by me, and it has within 2 years 10 outlets throughout the country. And recently people have started talking about us, but this concept we picked up from the website. It was picked up by my daughter. Again, she's an army officer, wife, supported by my daughter-in-law. We were talking about the support from the family. Only we say the mother-in-law gave the support. I got the support from the daughter-in-law and the daughter. And they started asking me, can you do this? This is a beautiful idea. We wish in all army cantonments there should be such libraries so that we don't have to pick up the toys and all. Started in Chandigarh. So I said, fine, if it is a challenge, I'll do that. And I'm doing it, and I'm really enjoying it. Because the children who come to me, they are of the age of my grandchildren. I got 3 grandchildren. So it is like when I was young, like you people, I used to read articles about the people, about the ladies who get visited. We started life all over again after 50. And I used to wonder how, and now I have started my life all over again after 55, and I really.
And she's not only a successful entrepreneur, she's an undertaker. Thank you. Next question.
जो विमेन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप प्रोग्राम में महिलाएं काम कर रही हैं, उनसे एक छोटा सा सवाल है कि जिन महिलाओं के साथ भले वो बिजनेस मॉडल पे काम कर रहे हैं या एनजीओ मॉडल पे काम कर रहे हैं, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग कितना फोकस है? क्योंकि अभी कुछ लोगों को सुना तो मुझे लगता है कि वो कहीं उसमें गैप दिख रहा है। जैसे अगर किरण मैम से बात करें तो मैं जानना चाहूँगा कि आपका फोकस कितना है कि आपने उस पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप के लिए कुछ कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग का काम किया हो। दूसरा ये कि पार्टनरशिप मॉडल में आप कब तक जाना चाहेंगे, या आपके प्लान में ही नहीं है? ये 2 सवाल मेरे लिंक्ड हैं। थैंक यू।
Capacity building is exactly what I don't know. Yeah, see now again I have kids. I never intended to start a business or anything. I drifted into it because of the opportunity, like that. I have 2 kids. They take up a lot of my time. Now one is in college, the kid is in boarding school, so not that much time. So now I have seen that this is the year I will do more. I'm not doing enough capacity building. I need to market much more aggressively and do a broader production line base and
bring up the capacity. Yes, and keeping the quality in mind. If you see my stuff, you'll understand that every piece has to be just looked at. I cannot leave it to anybody. They just don't have the sensibility sometimes. So keeping that constraint in mind, I do plan to do a lot of marketing and stuff this year so that I can involve more people and more of the time.
When would we be able to bring them at partnership?
There are some things that I'm still researching. Like I hope to revive a little bit of weaving case. It's all done by machine now. I'm trying to set that up. It's been a project in my mind for the last 5 years, 3 years, and I hope to do something about it this year. So that's the kind of stuff that we can do at partnership level with the women. But the work I'm doing presently, not really possible.
I have a question, sir.
Partnerships happen when you really want to. You've scaled it up to a level where you feel that the other person can contribute, a lot to the business for it to grow more, I guess, right? So partnerships like at this stage when we are making them, independent, I think this would be not the correct stage for it.
My point is that I cannot have an independent group working independent of me and sending me back stuff, say, go to market. I can't have it because of the kind of work I'm doing. But I can do it with weaving case or weaving daddies or weaving something that's much more mass produced and possible to do. But each piece we are doing, separately and differently, not really at the moment possible.
Ishaji, it's different in your case. She is using word NGO actually. That's why I talked about
the word NGO is misused in my case because I'm not an NGO at all. The thing is, I'm a business, but I work on the NGO model. I'm not a.
That's fine. That's fine.
We have another question from
I'm an associate with an educational group called Chandigarh Group of Colleges, and this institute happens to be a very old client of Trinity. So I would firstly like to congratulate Isha, Mr. Rampur and her entire team for doing a fantastic job and creating a niche for yourself in the education market. As a client, there are a couple of observations and which, that's the reason I'm asking this question. At times we face that the quality of training differs from trainer to trainer. And being a pure service industry, I feel what is the most important thing is your training delivery. So how, as a training group, do you handle the challenge of standardization in terms of delivery? And secondly, how do you handle the challenge of attrition amongst your trainers? Thank you.
See, these are two areas that are really pertinent to our kind of a business where we are providing services and delivering, lectures or whatever. See, standardization, when we talk about training, all the people who are working for us, all individuals cannot deliver at the same level for sure. Because if we standardize it in a very, though we always keep holding the trainer session and the other tricks and mathematics and everything is being done. But if we try to hold on, if our faculty, to those very guidelines, we are holding him back in a way. When the trainer interacts with the students and creates a rapport, the delivery will differ always. It will always differ. The only thing that we can do is that we can select such a good group of trainers or such a competent team that the delivery is always at par or maybe better. Because we have to give them some room for their own inputs. That has always to be given.
Sure, I agree. But at times what happens is for the same subjects, for example maths, a certain set of students are very fond of a trainer. And the second set of students are really disappointed. They say that the trainer is not good, we cannot understand what exactly he or she is teaching. So in this typical case, don't you think there is a need of some basic training for all your set of trainers so that they come at the same level?
Yes, of course. That's very, very important. Like when we hold our the trainers, we tell the trainers, this was something that we started doing from the last year. We tell them that, okay, these are the basic things that have to be told to the students, come what may. Over and above, if the students are receptive, please go ahead. So that thing has been, incorporated now, because what happens is, for example, if you are training a student on group discussions or interviews, that really depends on the kind of group you have. Sometimes the group is not at all interactive. So the challenge is to just make them speak. Sometimes they speak very well, you have to calm them down. So the delivery has to be a little different accordingly, but of course this set of guidelines is being provided in which the standardization as much as it should happen is being done. And what was the second question?
The attrition rate. How do you
The attrition rate. Yes. Now this is one area where I always feel that a woman entrepreneur is good. Especially when we talk about the education industry, because this is one area when what I was discussing with Ms. Kiran also. When we work, there are certain things, especially when a lady is working, and most of our trainers are ladies because we are in the education industry. So when they are working, there are certain issues with them always that come in the way of their work. It happens. They want a holiday suddenly because there's a relative who's coming and there's a big dinner, being organized at home where sons or daughters parent-teacher meeting is there. Things like that. These kind of things do keep happening. So this is the area where I figure in because they're comfortable. I can empathize with them. I can understand that okay, this must be a problem, and I try to instead of in my place, in case there was a male guy, he would have still said that no, you're not doing your work properly, or he would have he would have been let down by that employee. But for me, I understand. So then there is somebody else who figures in and all that. But of course, retaining your employees, like there are a few people who have been with us since beginning. So employee retention is an issue, and we are trying to deal with it by making things easier for them so that they enjoy their work and they're comfortable working in the environment. Because otherwise, you can make a person work by coercing him for 1 year, 1.5 years, but eventually that person, if he's not happy, he'll grow. So one is that you have to give him personal growth. He has to keep, the personal growth is also important. So he should see that, okay, I can grow to this level in this very company. And secondly, yes, empathize with the person.
Let me ask you, do you have any branches outside the city?
No, our head office is here only in Chandigarh, but we are operating in all these 3 states through our head office.
I have a question. We have a very successful entrepreneur with us. She's from the region. Her name is Jasmeet, and she is from the field of art. Some of you might know her. Jasmeet से पूछते हैं कि उनका ये जो डांस अकेडमी है, स्कूल है, और उसका जर्नी कैसे शुरू हुआ और जो वो क्या कर रहे हैं, उनका आगे क्या प्लान है? Jasmeet.
Hello, very nice afternoon to everybody. I'm so sorry I joined you guys late, and this is something very interesting. Really good, very nice. It's really interesting to talk about my facilitation center. It's not an academy, it's not a school. Dance is a promoted form of expression, and there is where I am working right now. Every time I encounter anybody wanting to learn dance, there were 3 things that always came across. One is I have 2 left feet when I dance. The second thing was, my son has an audition. We have 1 week. Can you train him? The third thing was, I just have 1 month before my marriage and I need to dance. So whenever all of this happened, it used to really hurt me within, because dancing for me was always a mode of expression, whether it was going through both knee ligament tear and recovering out of it through dancing, or whether it was excelling in my studies because of my dancing. Every exam I used to dance before I used to leave for my exam hall. So that is how dancing was always linked into me. And I am a mass comm student. I did my education with journalism, School of Communication Studies. Before that, I was always a fluctuating kid. So I always told my parents I want to be pilot. By 10th, I wanted to be a surgeon. By 12th, I wanted to be an accountant. By the 3 years of my graduation, I wanted to. I know how to do everything, but I don't know what to do. And dancing, God had designed my life in such a pretty way that every time I was at a job, I got time to dance. Whether it was going and fixing myself into a job, I had my condition. So I can only work from morning 9 to 3. Or I can work from 9 to 4. So it was very clear to them that I cannot move my limits beyond 4 or 3:30. And I used to go, get myself ready, take half an hour's nap, and then till 9:30 I used to take dance classes. So it was happening, you know, but when I really decided that, okay, done, when I'm doing advertising for an ABC company, when I'm actually doing the PR activity for somebody, why can't I do something like that for myself? That was the click I really thought of, and I left my job exactly 1 year, 22 days back. Okay, and 22 days because I just completed 1 year of Dance Dacha in Chandigarh, and we are having a week-long celebration for that.
So I think Dacha is a Russian name, right?
Absolutely.
How did you got inspired to put the name Dacha?
Well, when I was even doing the PR job, you know, I got this opportunity to start up a t-shirt brand that we showcased here at the same place called Karma Republic. Now that was a social enterprise. I'm happy you guys said yes. Yeah. That's nice. So we had this social enterprise where we used t-shirts to encourage the thought process of youth today through t-shirts. While working onto that, I really realized that people want to flaunt what is in fashion, you know. So I started understanding how youth actually works, how you